Hello everyone and welcome my friends. What is going on? Phil here live on the stream this lovely Tuesday. Welcome to another full day of gameplay streaming for you guys. I hope you guys are excited. FYI, today is Tuesday, June 26th, 2018. And I wholeheartedly welcome you. What's up? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's talk, guys. We got a full fun day of stuff on the horizon, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Just quickly, Lord Lamb V3 and the stream judges asked, do you email Patreon pledgers or do you message people over the website, Patreon itself? The way it works, if you pledge to my Patreon, because by the way, we'll be talking about this on the pre-stream plugs anyway. When you pledge to my Patreon, you should immediately get like a confirmation, I guess, via email of your pledge if you put in an active email. And then the way it works is that your pledges process, and also FYI, I should bring this up, the first of every month it reprocesses. So let's say, for example, this month, sometime during June, you pledge to my Patreon. That counts for June, alright? And then it's going to recharge you automatically the first of every month. So come July, it's going to charge you again. So definitely if you did like a big pledge for June and you only want to do like, I don't know, a $1 recurring pledge, you got to lower that on the website, FYI. Now the way it works is I have to wait for all those pledges to process, and then I will message you on the website, patreon.com, okay? Now if you're already set up that when you get a private message on patreon.com that you automatically get an email, then you'll get both. You'll get a private message on the website, plus you'll get email notification, okay? But it actually depends on your settings on Patreon rather than what I set up. You know, I will send PMs via the website, and then you may or may not get an email depending on your own settings, okay? Okay. Sound good? So, and also, FYI, I should bring this up. This is a weird month, because typically what I do is it'll be the first Sunday of every month would be the month when I have time at night to message the patrons and say, oh, thanks for pledging. You know, your pledges have cleared, so here's the information I need from you to get you your perks. This month is a weird one because July 1st is Sunday, so most people's pledges won't even clear on the day that I have time to send those messages. So it'll actually be the week after. It'll be July 8th when I'll probably have time to sit down and look at who's cleared and who didn't, and then send out those messages. So normally I would do it more quickly than that. But this is just an exception month where it just so happens the day that the pledges will clear is the day that I normally would send the messages, and I can't do that until they all clear. So anyway, I know that was a big derailment of pre-stream, but there you go. I know that Lord Lamb probably was either pledged or was planning on pledging and want him to understand the process. So, okay. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a double stream day. In reality, though, guys, today is an exception. Today is going to be a triple stream day. Triple. And you may say, what the hell does that mean? Triple stream? That doesn't make any sense, Phil. You do one big stream, right, in the earlier times, and then at night you do a late night stream, right? Well, today, guys, it's going to be a little different. Hold on to your butts. Allow me to explain what's going on today so you guys know what to expect. All right? So right now, I'm going to do pre-stream like I usually do. And then after pre-stream ends, we're going to be doing the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit. This is a free episode of a game from Don't Nod, the same people who made Life is Strange and the same people who made Vampire, which I just finished. This is a prequel / kind of intro demo to Life is Strange 2, the episodic game that's coming out later this year. Okay? So pretty interesting that they've, you know, released this free episode as a lead-in to Life is Strange 2. It's, from all reports, roughly 2 hours long. I think it could be beaten as quickly as 90 minutes or maybe a little bit longer depending on how long you take, okay? So that being said, we're going to do that first on stream. And I'm planning on beating that probably, again, like I said, roughly within 2 hours. But my usual gameplay streams are around 4 hours. So what we're going to do then is switch over. I'm going to turn the stream completely off because I have to change all my settings and everything. And then we're going to switch over to Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. And I'm going to ask you guys, what do you want to see? Do you want to see Street Fighter Alpha 3? Do you want to see Third Strike? Do you want to see Super Turbo? And depending on your feedback, I'm going to play an hour or two of the Street Fighter collection to end off today's stream. Okay? Now, initially, I will not have the stream stats leaderboard on the stream. As you can see, it's not up. Because this is a narrative-based game. And I do feel that interrupting a narrative-based game, you know, to be, changing the leaderboard or whatever would be disruptive. And so I'm not going to do it for this one. As you guys know, it's at my discretion what we do. And, in this case, I don't want to have a narrative-based game constantly being interrupted. So, there you go. That's why I'm not doing that, okay? Shout out to iPepsi2017. He says, what's up, Phil? What's going on, iPepsi? Good to see you today. So, first, Captain Spirit. We'll have fun with that. Then take a short break while I swap over to Street Fighter. And then we'll do an hour or two of Street Fighter to end today's stream. Then tonight, my second stream tonight, or my second major stream, at late night, will be H1Z1 on PS4. And from what I'm to understand, they patched the game with more new content. It seems like every time I play this game, they've updated it or patched it with either improvements or new stuff. The last major one was EMP grenades, which I rarely see anyone use. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight with H1Z1, if there's been significant improvements or changes. And we should have fun with that, okay? Tomorrow, another full gameplay stream day. I'm returning to Half-Life 2 to finish off Episode 1, the expansion. And then I'm going to be going into Episode 2, the final expansion for Half-Life 2, okay? Wednesday night will be Mario Tennis Aces online play. My very first gameplay of this game online against humans. We'll see how that goes, since I've never done it before, okay? So it'll be 2 hours of hilarity tomorrow night. Thursday, we've actually got a new game release in Fighting EX Layer. This is a game that is made by Eureka, the same company that made the Street Fighter EX series of video games back in the 1990s and early 2000s. However, they don't have the Street Fighter license anymore, so they've made their own fighting game with their own characters from that franchise. And I played the beta of this a few months ago, and it was interesting but very weird at the same time. It seemed like it may not be very balanced. So I guess we'll find out. But that's Thursday. I'm going to be playing that all day on Thursday. We'll check that out. Apparently there's 12 characters at launch. That's a lot of characters to mess around with, right? And then Thursday night, I'll probably be finishing off Half-Life 2's Episode 2 in a 2-hour nighttime stream. And then on Friday, this is the big one, guys. On Friday, this Friday, I'm going to be doing a marathon event starting around the usual time in the morning. It's going to be a 7+ hour gameplay marathon where I'm attempting to beat all of the arcade modes of Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha Series, and the Street Fighter 3 series on the hardest difficulty all in one go on stream. It's called the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Master Run Challenge. I've been waiting for a while to do it. We're finally doing it this Friday. All right? So I hope you guys are excited for that. It's going to be a really excellent event where there's going to be tons and tons and tons of salt and rage, I'm sure, because these games blatantly cheat. Like, no lie or exaggeration, they blatantly cheat when you put them on a hard difficulty. So this should be a hell of a go on Friday, okay? And then, of course, Saturday's my day off. And then Sunday, we're going to play it by ear. And Sunday will be based on how the week went, you know. And will I be finishing off again? Will I be doing more Fighting EX Layer? Who knows? We'll see. Now, also, coming up, just so you guys know, Simpsons Hit and Run. That playthrough will begin soon. In fact, it's en route to my house. I ordered a copy of the game from Amazon, and it should be here soon, sometime hopefully this week. And as long as that copy works, I may start that game as early as next week. In addition, next week, there's a game coming out, a remaster of a game that was one of the very first games I ever did a full playthrough of on the internet, way back when in 2009. It was also the first game I ever reviewed in a Hateful Truth game review. That's right, it is Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. I don't know why they're calling it that. I guess it's a play on words, because the game takes place on Mars. Red Faction Guerrilla is being re-released, and I am going to possibly play it. What I'm actually thinking is balancing that with kind of Simpsons Hit and Run for early July. Okay, and then, of course, also bringing back Persona 5 and continuing on with that playthrough. So those could be 3 great playthroughs to balance, during the course of early July to keep you guys excited and entertained here on the streams, okay? So let's see. I mean, that is, yeah, Kazuto Vermont says, legit full circle. Right, I mean, what a full circle. I really was. When I played that game and I reviewed it, it felt like my first step into professional coverage of video games. Even though, quite frankly, back then I was just fucking around with games for most of the time, right? But even though there were some frustrating parts, I do remember liking that game a lot and enjoying doing a full playthrough of it because, you know, back then I wasn't doing full playthroughs all the time. It was just me messing around with games and maybe doing highlights of games and stuff. I wasn't doing full uncut playthroughs until around that time with that game. So it should be fun, you know. This should be a good early July of fun stuff to cover for you guys, okay? All right, now you guys know what's going on. There you go, my friends. Outside of that, there's not much else to talk about, except I would like to say thank you to those of you who recently have been submitting good stuff for me to use in videos, on streams, etc. In particular, recently you may have noticed there have been overlays that I've been using for my streams, you know, for my webcam or whatever. Certain playthroughs have looked a little bit better because I'm using these cool artwork and overlays on them. And in my opinion, it does make my streams look more professional. You know, as you guys know, I'm no graphic designer. I don't even have a graphic design program anymore. I used to have Photoshop. I can't afford it anymore. I had to cancel it because it was one of those subscription-based things where you would pay a certain amount to use it. I can't even afford it anymore. You know, I got rid of it. So it's all kind of up to you guys if you have ideas or information, you know, things you'd like to submit for me to use on the streams, you can do so. And I would definitely say thank you because we've been doing some really awesome things. In particular, Mario Tennis Aces, Vampire, Jurassic World Evolution, just a few of the games that I've been playing where I've been able to utilize overlays that people have been submitting. In particular, a fun generic overlay was submitted. Okay. And I want to show you guys this overlay because we're going to be using it today on stream. You guys ready? Hold on. I'm going to show you this cool overlay. And let's see what you think. Get ready. Here we go. By the way, my hair is going to be sticking straight up. Actually, it's not that bad. So here I am. Hello, everyone. And as you can see, take a look. A little different, right? Pretty cool. Instead of just my webcam being there in the corner, we now have a cool border with animation. And this is pretty neat, right? It's something pretty cool. And I don't think it's too distracting from the gameplay. This is the overlay I'll be using during kind of more generic gameplay. Like, for example, today, Captain Spirit. When I play Street Fighter, you know what I mean? H1Z1. These are all generic things. No one's going to do a big template for those. So this is a cool way to have, like, something, you know, different for the stream. It makes it look more professional, even though in reality it wasn't, like, a lot of work or whatever. Whoever they did, they just whipped together this cool animation and sent it to me, and it's easy for me to integrate it into OBS. So it looks good, right? I think it looks great. So this is going to be a more generic thing that I use for generic playthroughs. And then if people submit custom ones for certain playthroughs coming up, I'll also use those. Okay? Fair enough? All right, there we go. Exactly. Sir Citizen Unknown says it looks good, but it's not important. You're right. That's the cool thing is that, is it super important that that's there? Of course not. But it does spruce up the streams a little bit. It makes it look a little bit more professional. And so when you tune in, you're like, wow, this guy, you know, is a little bit more serious about what he's doing versus someone who just turned on a webcam, right? Where can we submit overlays? Asks Dusty Dead. Well, if you head to thekingofhate.com, that's my website, and go to the forums and register, in the general section, there's a section there that says fan art, pre-stream art, etc. And if you go there, you can submit anything. You can submit your things there, or you can PM me on the forums if you private message me. Because what one person did is they had a Google Drive they set up where they put a whole bunch of animations. And so they sent me this via Google Drive, via a PM on the forums. You can reach me there. You can email me at darksidefil@hotmail.com. There's many different ways you can reach me in order to try to get me stuff, you know, to use. Like, pre-stream artwork I accept for playthroughs. Overlays I accept. Anything, you know, I'm open. I'm open to submissions to make stuff better, okay? And like I said, recently things, in my opinion, the past couple of weeks have looked a lot better because of these overlays. So, you know, I am wide open to like, accepting new stuff. I think it would be a cool thing. Okay, I love it. I love that, you know, sprucing up this stuff, making it look refreshed. I mean, another thing I'm looking for, introductions to my vlog style videos. Like, for example, the week in preview desperately needs a new intro. I've been using that intro now for almost 3 years, and it would be really nice to have a new intro for it. Okay, so there you go. All right. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. I think now what we're going to do is briefly going to do some plugs. And then I'm going to do shout-outs for those who have contributed during the stream, cheering, subbing, and tipping. And then we're going to get into Captain Spirit, okay? So, let's do some plugs first. Let's get these out of the way. Dusty Dead asked, do the overlays have to be a specific type? I don't think so. In particular, I couldn't tell you. Well, actually, maybe I could. Hold on one second. Let me see something here. If I do this. Okay, well, I can tell you this. The overlays that I've been using were .png files. That I could tell you. They were .png. I just looked, and the Mario Tennis Aces one that I used yesterday was .png, and apparently the other ones have been .png. Okay? There you go. Alright. So, guys, I would like to say this. Thank you very much for 10 years of support. I've been able to do what I love for a living for around 7 years. And about 2.5 years before that, I did it as a hobby. Okay? And it's been your ongoing support. Your love of what I do, which is very different from what's popular these days, you know. Doing raw, long play, let's plays. Giving you reactionary commentary. This is very different from what's popular on YouTube. And I know that. That's why, you know, my YouTube channels aren't necessarily really my focus anymore. My focus is putting out a fun and entertaining stream for you guys on a daily basis. Having fun interactions with you. So when you come by and you hang out with me, you feel like you got some fun entertainment value out of the gameplay, but also out of my honest reactions and also my reactions to, you know, you guys and what you say on the stream. That's what it's all about, right? So, thank you for that. I am eternally grateful that I've been able to do this as long as I have. And I want to keep doing it. So thanks to everyone who supports me. Thanks for watching the streams. Thanks for watching the videos on YouTube. Now, if you would like to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or video watcher, and you'd like to help ensure that I can keep doing this full-time on a daily basis, there are a few methods by which you can contribute that will help me out dramatically. All right. The first is Patreon. And FYI, there's a little over 4 days left this month for you to pledge to my Patreon and get in on the next big event. Okay, you can check this out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. It's a monthly pledge drive that I do. And if you guys pledge to my Patreon, you are helping me out with things like the cost of electricity, the cost of games, the cost of health insurance, the cost of, you know, everything that entails to be self-employed and do this for a living. But the cool thing about Patreon is that you actually earn stuff based on what you contribute. You earn personal perks for your contributions to my Patreon, depending on how much you pledge. In particular, my opinion is that the best pledge level is the $5 level, because if you pledge $5 or more by the end of this month, so you got 4.5 days to do so, guys, you will be able to nominate and then vote on games for the upcoming Rageathon Marathon event. What is this? Well, in this event, I'm going to be playing in a 7+ hour gameplay marathon games that cause me to rage. I mean, pretty straightforward, right? Now, it could be anything. It could be a game that I've played previously. It could be a game that I've never played before. It could be any kind of game, you know, platforming, action, shoot 'em up, sandbox, fighting, any kind of game you can think of. And as long as it is readily available, either on modern consoles or easily playable on a PC, it's fair game, okay? And if you pledge $5 or more, you're going to be nominating and then voting on those games. Now, think about that amount of power, all right? This is going to be a stream, a marathon stream. Probably you're going to see hundreds, if not thousands or more people are going to be watching on stream. On YouTube, thousands of people will be watching the videos, all right? That's a lot of power for one person who pledges $5 to be able to have that kind of power to formulate an entire event like that, right? It typically, for when I do these kind of things, where people have this nomination power, I'd say roughly 50 people participate, you know? So you're talking 50 people having that kind of unprecedented power is crazy, all right? So, please consider pledging. There's not much time left. Like I said, only 4 to 4.5 days left this month to pledge and get in on this event. If you pledge after that, it'll be too late, okay? So please consider pledging. Patreon.com/darksidephil. Of course, that's not the only perk. There are other perk levels and stuff as well. But I think that's, in particular, that's the best one, okay? So, thank you guys for that. And hopefully the event comes off, you know, as a fun one, all right? Very nice. Now, let's continue, my friends. Another way that you can contribute and help me out is to check out my Teespring store over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. This is my merchandise shop. where I sell all kinds of fun merch, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, high quality stuff that I can personally attest to the quality because I've owned it for a year. I bought a bunch of these shirts and the mug last year. I've owned them for over a year. They have not faded. They have not worn out. They are great quality merch, all right? The cool thing is if you buy some of it, I get a commission for every sale. So please head over there, check it out. And if you buy something to get a cool collectible for yourself, I want to say thank you for helping me out, okay? Pretty awesome of you. All right. Last but certainly not least, guys, if you're here live on the stream and you're having fun, especially today, this first stream is going to be interesting with Captain Spirit first and then me switching over to some fun Street Fighter, right? If you're having fun and you would like to maybe get a shout out during today's action, you can either cheer, sub, or tip. If you do any of those three things, cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel, or tipping me, I will give you a verbal shout out during the stream. Now keep in mind, this is a narrative-based game, and I may get caught up in the narrative, but I promise you I will take the time to give you a shout out if you do contribute once I get a chance, okay? Now, that being said, there are some criteria that you should use if you would like to ensure that you get your shout out, because keep in mind, this is my stream, and it is a subjective decision what I do and don't read on it, all right? Number one, please be as short-worded and concise as possible. You know, the shorter winded you are when you try to get a shout out, the better it is, and the higher chance that I'm going to read it out on the stream, okay? If you post up giant paragraphs of, you know, stuff, I'm probably not going to derail the entire gameplay stream just to read your thing and to spend 5+ minutes on it, all right? Just being realistic here. Don't post up random song lyrics that I don't understand. All that stuff is just kind of a waste of time, okay? In addition, please try to stay positive. Please do not be toxic or insulting to others. Please do not derail the stream. And what I mean by that is, in general, asking questions about religion or politics or bringing those up is not a good idea. I'm not going to address them on my stream. In particular, they are very dividing topics that usually cause problems, so I'm not going to be addressing those on stream. In addition, if you come in, you insult me or insult another stream chatter, etc., no, I'm not going to be reading that. You know, no racist remarks, nothing like that. And please don't bring in negativity. And what I mean by that is, oh, someone's insulting Phil. Someone steals Phil's content and rebroadcasts him and herp a derp. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. Those people will be off doing whatever the hell they want. Let them stay over there in their own circles, all right? Me, I'm here to have fun, to enjoy myself playing video games, and to share those experiences with you guys on a daily basis. That's what I'm here for. You know, I'm not here to be Mr. Drama. There's plenty of other places that are all about that, you know? I've had interactions with some streamers that are pretty much all about that. I don't care about them, and I never will. And I'm glad that I'm not like that, you know? So please keep that out of my stream, all right? Very nice. You know, in general, the vast majority of people who come to my streams get it. It's just that every once in a while we get some bad apples or we get someone who's a newcomer and they don't understand the rules. And, you know, so we will every once in a while have that kind of element. But in general, things are good, so. Okay. Let's continue. Now, what if you'd like to get a cool animation played on the stream for your contribution? So that way you're getting both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions. You could do that as well. How do you qualify for that? Okay. Well, let me answer that. Number one, you cheer 50 bits or more in one go, one shot. Number two, you subscribe to the channel and you wait a few minutes. A button should appear that says click on here to, you know, to share. It's the share button for subscribing to the channel, all right? Or number three, if you tip me $5 or more in one shot. So if you do any of those three things, you'll get a cool thank you animation that will play on the stream, and it'll also show your message. So there you go. It's a cool way to get visual recognition and then verbal recognition afterward, all right? So pretty nice, all right? 2 different ways you can contribute and ways that you can get attention on the stream, and I'm appreciative of any of your contributions, guys. 2 more things before we get started with shoutouts. Number 1, subscribing to the channel. What does it do for you, and why should you do it? Number 1, you should do it right now because it's the best time to do it because coming up this week, I'm doing this special Street Fighter Marathon event. And right now, one of the major benefits that you will get in time for that event is the new emotes, including the DSP Ryu, the Hadouken, and the Fireball emotes. I mean, you're going to see lots of fireballs during that event. Trust me. You're going to see lots of fireballs thrown during that event. and it's going to be an ample time to be using those emotes. So subscribing by Friday behooves you because you'll be able to have a lot of fun on the stream with those. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you will not have to watch advertisements. And you might say, ooh, advertisements, you know, why would I watch advertisements? Well, typically when I run a stream, I run 1 to 2 ad breaks, all right? That's just real talk. Usually I do it. Usually I need to take a break regardless of if I'm running ads or not, and to use the bathroom or whatever, okay? So you won't have to watch those ads if you're a subscriber. You get to skip those ads. But in particular, again, with, with this Street Fighter event coming up on Friday, where I'm going to be going through all the various Street Fighter games in the collection, playing them on the hardest difficulty, I'm going to be taking breaks. You know, maybe every hour, maybe every hour and a half. And as I take those breaks, I'll be running ads. You won't have to watch any of those ads if you're a subscriber. All right? So please, again, consider subbing. You're going to get good benefits. Of course, the third benefit is you get the cool Chat Crown badge. That shows how long you've been a supporter. It starts off as bronze, then it turns to silver after 3 ongoing months of support, gold after 6, and then it gets some rubies at the 12-month mark. So it's really cool, and you benefit from subbing. It helps me out, okay? It does. And I'm very appreciative to those who have subscribed. So thank you very much, everyone. In fact, someone just did subscribe, and I am going to give a shout-out in just a moment for that, okay? The last thing I want to do, and then we're going to get to shout-outs for people who've contributed on the stream today, is I want to explain the tipping process, because some of you may not understand it. You know, cheering and subbing are all done through Twitch. They're all integrated into the chat or into, you know, the website itself. And you may say, well, what's tipping? Well, tipping is through a third party. And it's another way to contribute. All right. How do you do it? Well, if you look below the stream here on my Twitch channel page, you should see a button that says Tips Jar. And if you click on that, it should take you to a Tips PayPal page where you can, you know, submit a contribution there, either with a message to get a shout out on the stream, or you can do it anonymously, okay? Now, if you don't see that button, you're probably on a mobile version of the site, which is fine. If that's the case, just type in !tip into the stream chat, and that should bring up the link that you can click on to, again, take you to that PayPal page, okay? So 2 different ways to tip. I appreciate them both. You guys help me out a lot when you tip me, so thank you guys very much for your contributions, okay? All right, guys. Let's go ahead and let's do some shout outs now for people who have contributed during today's stream, all right? So first off, let's scroll down here. And overnight, there were a couple people who contributed, and I just want to say thank you to those people who keep me in mind when I'm not even broadcasting. That's pretty damned awesome that some people do. In particular, shout out to iMadFusion, who did a 50-bit cheer and said, are there any plans for a DSP sitcom in the near future, and will we be including a laugh track? You know, in a lot of ways, I like to think this last 10-year run's been a sitcom. my whole life has been a sitcom, right? Not my whole life, I would say, but ever since I went public on the internet, I think the whole thing's been a sitcom. The only difference is there's no laugh track. It's just you guys laughing, and you hear yourself laughing when you watch my content, right? It's pretty crazy, the stuff that I've been, the ups and downs and the shit that happens, but typically, it's a good time, and people have fun and laugh, or else why would people be here, right? So, officially, will I make a sitcom? Probably not. But I think that, you know, when you watch my stuff, you get a good laugh out of it anyway, and that's kind of the point, right? Also, shout out to Infinite55, who did a 100-bit cheer overnight. Thank you guys very much for your contributions overnight. You guys are awesome. Okay. Now, as the stream is starting here, we had some people who contributed. First of all, we had a $1 tip from Whoa Moses, who said, a blast from the past. That's right. Whoa Moses, for those who don't know. By the way, this is not how I spelled it. I spelled Whoa Moses differently than this is how it's spelled here. But anyway, Whoa Moses used to be my old internet handle from the 1990s. Back when the era of AOL. That's right. Remember when you had to go to a particular ISP in order to get online? Right? Remember when you had to pay AOL a monthly fee and dial up through the phone lines in order to get online? Yeah. Those were the old days of the internet in the 1990s, before broadband internet became mainstream. And I really want, when I was first logging in for the first time to AOL, I was like, let me try this one. Phil Burnell. Oh, it's taken. Okay, what about this cool name that I would like? Oh, it's taken. So I tried like 20 names. They were all fucking taken. I'm like, this is fucking shit. I can't get a name I want. I said, fuck this. I just want to get on the internet. I'm just going to type in any stupid fucking thing just to get on, and then maybe later on they'll let me change it, right? So I just typed like, whoa, Moses or something. And it got me in. I was like, good, thank God. Now I can start exploring the internet. Well, it was like a week or two later. And I was like, well, you know, now I've seen what the internet has to offer. This is pretty cool. I want to start messaging, you know, friends from school and stuff on here. So let me see what I can do. Can I change my name? Nope. I was stuck with it. They were like, no, you can't change your name. You have to make a whole new account or whatever in order to get your name. I was like, oh, fuck. So I was stuck with Womoses for like 4 years. Basically through my whole high school life, I was stuck with Womoses as my online handle. And I also posted it up on things like, you know, other forums and stuff. And so it was funny because initially in the Street Fighter community, they used to know me as Womoses. And then eventually I changed my name to be DSP or Darkside Phil. And that stuck so much fucking better than Womoses. So, there you go. That's the blast from the past. What a story. Alright, shout out to iPepsi2017, who took me $10 and said, here you go, Phil. Thank you very much, iPepsi. First of all, good to see you. Always good to see you on the streams, and thank you for your contribution. I appreciate that. Shout out to Moist Spork, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much, Moist Spork, for the sub. I appreciate that. Also, shout out to Knows Nobody, who did a 100-bit cheer and said, which is better in your opinion, Neo or Bloodborne? Oh, man, that's a tough question. See, and here's the thing. Neo, when played at 60 frames per second, okay, in my opinion, I feel is a much more reactive game. And what I mean by that is the controls are actually far more responsive. And, I would say, when it really comes down to brass tacks, as they say, the gameplay of Neo has more variety. You've got more weapons, right? You've got katanas, you've got smaller swords, you've got the spear, you've got ranged weapons, you've got a lot of different elements when you're playing Neo. Not to say that you need them all, because you don't. I played the entire game with a fucking spear and never needed to really switch at all, right? But the gameplay elements are there to switch up if you want to. Bloodborne also has a lot of variety in the gameplay depending on what weapons you're using, but Bloodborne doesn't have blocking. Bloodborne doesn't have much defensive gameplay. It's more offensive. You're constantly dodging and attacking and then parrying with the gun, versus in Neo, there's a lot of it is about defense, blocking, parrying properly, and then getting a counter hit. I couldn't tell you how many times during my playthrough of Neo I did like a perfect parry to an enemy or a boss, leading to a really cool, you know, counterattack for monster damage. Not to say that parrying doesn't do that in Bloodborne as well, but Neo, you could definitely play a more defensive style, while you can't do that in Bloodborne. On the flip side of that, I do feel the world of Bloodborne, with its wide variety of enemies and locations, is actually a lot better than the world of Neo, which is mostly just based on Japanese culture, and a lot of the enemies are constantly reused in the course of the game. It's actually a hard question to answer. It actually is, because I feel I like both games a lot. And, you know, Bloodborne came out first. And by 2 years, by the way. You know, Bloodborne was 2015. Neo was 2017. So they had a 2-year head start. And, you know, Neo had more time to kind of take elements from Bloodborne and implement them in their own game. So it's really a hard question to answer. On face value, both games have a lot of content, right? On face value, both games are very robust in their combat engines. Obviously, I think Neo runs a little better, but that's because the game was 2 years, you know, older. You know what I mean? Or not 2 years older, but 2 years more modern. So my honest answer to that question, for my personal, my personal opinion, I do think Bloodborne's a better game, but not by much. I think that Neo was a great initial installment, and I think that Neo 2, which is going to be coming out in a year or two, may be amazing. It may actually blow our socks off and actually surpass, you know, games like Bloodborne, because the first Neo was so good. You know, the first Neo was so good that I feel that the second one could be one of the best style games of ever made like that, okay? So we'll find out. We'll find out. But I say Bloodborne slightly over Neo. Okay, there you go. Shout out to Zacho056, who did 150-bit cheer. He says, this is on behalf of the new face of creation. Well, there you go. Thank you, Zacho, for the cheer. I appreciate that. And then we've got Kathani, who subscribed to the channel for the 14th month in a row. Thank you very much, Kathani, for 14 months of support. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, so here, let's see here. I have no idea how many subs we have. I don't even know how many subs we had when we started today. Like I said, I'm not doing the leaderboard for Captain Spirit, because this is a narrative-based game, and I do feel that having that leaderboard up during Captain Spirit would be distracting. Okay? But I will bring back the leaderboard when we switch to Street Fighter during this stream. Okay? Looks like we have 480 subs, which is still great. So thank you guys for your support. What I want to do now, before we start, okay? Before we start, I want to give a shout out to those who within one day have gotten up to the top 10 of my stream stats, or not stream stats leaderboard, but the cheering leaderboard here on Twitch. If you guys aren't aware, every Sunday night / Monday morning, these stats reset for the top cheerers here on my Twitch channel. And I want to give credit where credit is due, because we had a lot of people who came out yesterday and were very supportive on that Monday stream, okay? So, thank you very much to the following people who have been the top cheer contributors so far for the week. Tied for 10th place, we got a tie between Geekrum and Anonysaurus Rex. So thank you guys very much. Then in 8th place, we've got PS Geek 23. In 7th place, we've got BattleDuck 9000. In 6th place, Infinite 55. In 5th place, Shao Kahn Artist. In 4th place, Zacho. Thank you, Zacho. In 3rd place, Derfuzilador. In 2nd place, Aust Mink. And in 1st place, one person who did a ginormous cheer yesterday, The Lord Lamb V3. So thank all of you for your contributions. They're very much appreciated, guys. And thank you for all of that support. We got one final shout out to do, and then I guess we're going to be getting started with Captain Spirit, since things are slowing down here. All right. Dog Runes was just gifted a sub by Siesta Jan Hugo. Siesta John Hugo just gifted a subscription to Dog Runes to the channel. So thank you very much to Siesta John or Jan Hugo for the gift. And enjoy Dog Runes. I hope that you I don't know if you're here now or not, but I hope you enjoy the subscription. Okay. Well, guys, does anyone else have anything else to talk about? Or to get off your chest, or to do before we start with Captain Spirit? This has actually been a shorter pre-stream. There hasn't been a lot going on, so I got through it pretty quickly. Anyone have anything they want to chat about or ask about before we begin? Okay. Barnaby says, some Twitch streamers got DMCA copyright claims for music. You were 10 steps ahead of that shit. Yeah, I was. You know, here's the thing. As you guys know, Twitch always seemed to have been way more loose in what it allowed. Twitch doesn't really care as long as you're not blatantly stealing or blatantly being insulting or something. You know, they'll let you play music. They'll let you do whatever you want. And up to this point, it's been pretty much no one's enforced anything on Twitch. You very rarely get someone come in and say, oh, someone is playing my music. Apparently, in the last week, a bunch of major streamers, it wasn't just like little guys, major streamers got hit with strong copyright strikes against their Twitch accounts because they've been playing copywritten music. And it was the first time ever, it was like unprecedented that this had happened, right? And the people were like stunned and shocked that this happened because they've been using copyrighted music for years on their streams. And for this to happen was kind of like, holy shit, what's going on? Are things changing or whatever? Me, I've never done so, and I never will. The reason being is because I've always had people constantly submitting false claims and strikes and things against me on YouTube. So I knew when I started streaming, the same shit would happen. I knew that I would be subject to people kind of, you know, harassing me via false claims and the like. So I knew if I used copyrighted music without permission, right, or licensed music is really what I should say, without permission, I'd probably get into trouble. So I never did. You know, and a lot of people kind of gave me shit about that and said, you know, everyone else does something you don't. And I said, no, I'm just covering my bases, man. You know, the bottom line is the more important thing is me putting out entertaining streams for you guys every day. It's not the music in the background or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's more about the content of the stream. So I wouldn't want that opportunity to be taken away from me because of me doing something, you know, silly and frivolous that really doesn't add much to your stream anyway, okay? Another example of this, guys, on YouTube, people have been receiving copyright strikes, not copyright strikes, excuse me, community strikes, or terms of service violation strikes for uploading videos on their YouTube channel saying, oh, guess what, guys, I'm going live on Twitch right now, come join me. Now, this has been a common practice among many YouTubers for years. I mean, 5+ years, YouTubers have been doing this. They post up a video on their channel on YouTube saying, come watch me on Twitch, okay? I've never done it. And people have bugged me to do it for years, saying, do it, do it, do it. Everyone else does it. And I said, nah, you know what? Those who want to watch on YouTube can watch on YouTube. Those who want to watch on Twitch are going to find my Twitch. I mean, I have a link to my Twitch channel on my YouTube page. On my Twitter, every day I give you my schedule. My YouTube videos, like the weekend preview, explain that they're streaming on Twitch. Like, all this is present already. So there's no reason for me to be worried about, you know, people don't know. People know about my streaming if they want to watch me stream, right? So, you know, I never did it. Now all of a sudden, YouTube starts to enforce their terms of service. People get strikes and stuff, and it's like, holy shit. You know, I pretty much, in a lot of ways, I'm ahead of the curve when it comes to these issues. I don't take those chances. And yeah, my streams may not be as hip as some of the other kids, but at least I get to be here every day. You know what I mean? So there you go. Zacho says, any chance of an occasional DSP community gaming session? It would really encourage people to support you to get involved. Trolls can be dealt with. Don't let that stop you. Sadly, Zacho, I used to do this, and I had to stop doing it because of the trolls. Like, I used to actually do major events where it would be, here, let's do a multiplayer event with the fans. And I would just set up open lobbies, okay? And people would join, and we would do fun multiplayer sessions. And I used to do this in games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Assassin's Creed. I remember when Assassin's Creed had multiplayer, and I used to do it. Street Fighter and other fighting games. You know, it used to be a really fun thing. And then I'd say probably about 3 years ago, it basically all fell apart when I tried to do it, and it was just trolls just constantly would invade the sessions and get on their mics. Fuck you, Phil. You're a scam artist. You're a pedophile. You're a piece of shit. It's like, oh my God. And then it would be like, okay, so I just mute the mics. I don't have to hear them. But now I can't talk with my fans anymore. And then you have people just fucking not playing the games, taking up spots and running in circles and trolling. It's just like unbearable. Unbearable to the point where just, you know, I used to be called fan appreciation, and I can't do it anymore. I just can't. You know, the only event that I could do is for Patreon. I used to do this. I stopped doing it for a while. Then if you pledge to my Patreon, all right, I would do an event where, okay, this month is a special fan or patron appreciation month, where if you pledge to my Patreon, you can play multiplayer with me during certain sessions. And since the patrons get premium forum access to my forums, they would post up and say, oh, you know, I'd like to play this game and I'm available on these dates. And I would form out a schedule by which I could play with certain people in certain games, all right? But even now, I haven't done it in a long time. You know, real talk, first of all, there's not a lot of multiplayer games out there that, in my opinion, I play long enough to even have that kind of stuff. You might say, oh, but what about like H1Z1 and stuff like that? Well, fair enough. Those games maybe because these are a new kind of game. Battle Royale, doing a team-based thing maybe. But I can't do open lobbies. I just can't. I've tried, Zacho, over the years, and every time I try to do an open event, all you get are a bunch of fucking trolls who come in and you're just complete dickheads. You know, the one thing that works is fighting games, because in fighting games you're going head-to-head anyway. So in that regard, I can just mute, if there's some asshole who's being insulting, I just mute the mic and I beat the shit out of them in the fighting game, and then you're good. It doesn't matter. But if you're trying to do, like, for example, team deathmatch in Call of Duty or something, forget it, you know. Team-based gameplay, forget it, because they'll just join and troll and not play and get you killed. And it sucks. It sucks, but it's just a lot of reality for me. It's a sign of that, you know, things change. You know, like I said, there used to be a time when things were so positive that I would hold these events and you get 50, 100 people lined up to play. And I would play all day and people would be disappointed if they didn't get into a fan lobby. Now it's like it's the complete opposite. It's people who line up just want to be dicks, you know. So it is what it is. You know, it's just it's reality, and I've accepted it. I'm not really sad or anything about it anymore. I just kind of accept it as reality, you know, and I move on. Omniscius just did a cheer and says, will you play Rainbow Skies, which came out on PS4 today? I have no idea what that is. So, unless there is any kind of, I don't know, clamoring for me to play that game, I'm probably not going to play it. I don't even know. What is Rainbow Skies? Does anyone know what that is? If anyone knows what it is and wants to give me some insight, you know, I could look into it, but I have not heard about it. Knows Nobody did a 100-bit cheer. He says, are you considering live streaming on Amazon when they start their streaming service? Well, here's the thing. Amazon, I don't believe, is going to do their own streaming service. Amazon is the same company as Twitch. They're the same company. So, but what I think Amazon's going to do is they're going to actually start a competitive website to YouTube. Twitch will be their streaming destination, but they'll have their own on-demand video website to compete with YouTube. And to answer your question, hell yes, if Amazon comes out with a website on which you can host your videos, I will 100% be uploading my videos over there to test out the waters and see what happens, okay? The Lord Lamb V3 cheered and said, ever thought about making a Patreon tier higher than $50? Well, I mean, I'm not against that. But what would it be? You know, if I had a $100 tier, outside of a private Q&A video, which is pretty much like the most personal touch I can give to anything that I do for anybody, right? I'm not sure what else I could do as like an above and beyond tier. Some people have suggested, why don't you have like a signed t-shirt or something, right? Well, here's why. Because you may not realize this, but number one, my t-shirts are from Teespring. They're made to order. Meaning, it's not like I have a box of t-shirts sitting here that I could sign and mail to you right away if you pledge to my Patreon. I'd have to order one off Teespring, wait several weeks for it to be made, and then have it arrive here so I could sign it. Then, I would have to mail it to you. And I could tell you firsthand, personally, from someone who used to do this t-shirt thing with Patreon, because I did when I first started Patreon, I had these Project 7 t-shirts, and that was one of the perk levels, which I think was $20. You get a Project 7 t-shirt, okay? It was more trouble than it was worth, and I lost money on doing it because I realized a lot of my fan base are actually outside of the United States, and even just to ship a t-shirt outside of the United States cost between $10 to $20. In some cases, more than $20. So I was not only had a shirt that I had already paid for, signing it, and then I had to mail it, and I was paying more money to mail it than I was making on the pledge. So, there you go. I'm not going to, real talk, I'm not going to be doing, you know, anything like that. Now, if you guys want to give suggestions and say, oh man, you know, for a $100 tier on Patreon, I'd really like this, and this is something viable that I think Phil could do, fair enough. I'm all ears. I'd be more than happy. I'm always open to suggestions, for sure. But no one really, I mean, this is being honest, in like years, no one has really been able to suggest great things for Patreon, like improvement suggestions. In fact, it's kind of been the opposite. Like, most people are like, well, why don't you do this? I'm like, well, I can't. Like, I'll give you an example. When I first launched Patreon, people were like, well, what you should do, Phil, is when you do game reviews or you do edited style videos, give the patrons exclusive access to those first. So maybe for the biggest patrons, they get early access to all your videos, right? I can't do that. Because, you know, when I launched my Patreon, immediately I was told by my trolls or detractors, well, we're gonna subscribe. One of us will subscribe, or one of us will be a patron, just so we can get that early access, and we're just gonna rip those videos and put them all over the internet anyway. So you'll be fucked. You know, there'll be no reason for anyone to ever be a patron because we're gonna do that. And I was like, well, I guess I can't do that, you know. And that's kind of how it's always been when I have ideas. Oh, this is something that everyone else who uses Patreon does. I can't do it because I have malicious people doing nasty shit to me all the time. So, it sucks because, I wish I could have more ideas for Patreon. It would be nice if I had more patron support, but it's hard for me to brainstorm new ideas when I can't really, you know what I mean? I'm a one man and I'm streaming all day. Already, I don't get to spend enough time with my girlfriend. Now I'm going to try to have to think of new perks and stuff to do on Patreon that aren't going to be crazy time consuming or whatever. It's very tough. So we'll see, if anyone has an idea. Lord Lamb says, what about $75 to $100 for a FaceTime or something like that? No troll would pay for that. But that's what I mean, Lord Lamb. Like, I have an international fan base, and let's say for example, I did that 1 month on Patreon. If you do a $100 pledge, you get a private 15-minute conversation with me over, I don't know, Discord or something, right? Now we have to try to figure out when, with time zones and everything, can we schedule that in? And, it's not worth it. Real talk, it's just not. It would be more frustrating than anything. And you're right, they would. Trolls would come in and try to fuck with it and everything, and it's not worth it. So, it just sucks. It just sucks because I know there's things that other people do that I can't do. It is what it is. Alright, so Omniscius says, this Rainbow Skies is a strategy RPG, a sequel to Rainbow Moon. The developers say the story takes up to 50 hours. Optional content is 120 hours. They sent me a review copy, which is the only reason I remembered it came out. Well, if that's the case, I'm probably not playing it. Strategy RPGs are not exactly very entertaining for streaming audiences. Obi-Wan Kenobi asks, banana pancakes or banana bread? I'd say banana bread. I like banana bread. I very rarely had banana pancakes, so. Alright, guys. Alright, so I think we're good, right? Everyone, are we good? Have I answered everyone's questions? Shall we get started with Captain Spirit, or is there anything else? Last chance. If you got a question, you got a comment. Oh man. Ooh, stretching. Urgh. Ramen asks, am I excited for this game? Well, let me put it this way. I like Life is Strange. I did not like Life is Strange Before the Storm, but I like the original Life is Strange, and this is going to be apparently a tie into the second game. What we saw at E3 looked interesting, but I don't know much about it outside of what we saw at E3. So I mean, yeah, I want to see what this game is. It could be fun. Oh my god. Ugh. What is going on? I don't know why I feel so tired today. I went to sleep around the normal time last night. I got at least 6 solid hours of sleep. So I have no idea why I'm yawning so much. I really don't. Okay. Ramen says Luke Cage is good and I should watch it. Thank you for the recommendation. I have not watched any of the Netflix superhero shows. Zero. Not a single one yet. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna get ready, guys. Alright, so strap yourselves in. Get set. Get ready. The awesome adventures of Captain Spirit starting up right now. We'll see how this goes. And hopefully it's fun for you. And like I said, once we finish this, it should probably only be a couple hours. Once we wrap this up, then I'll be taking a quick break to switch over and we'll do some Street Fighter to end the stream. Okay? Alright, guys. It's time. Thank you for being supportive. Thanks for a great pre-stream. And let's now begin with Captain Spirit. All right, here we go.